Greetings, my name is Hyonomy and this is my review of the Battletron mechanical gaming keyboard. This keyboard retails for €27, 95 cents. Converted, that's about 31 US dollars. It's sold by the retail chain store Action, located here in the Netherlands, but also located in Belgium, Germany, Luxembourg, France and Poland. They specialize in low budget items, and as I recently found out, they also sell an actual mechanical keyboard. Included in the box is the keyboard itself, a manual both in English and Dutch, and on the small side, plastic keycap puller. I think it's actually too small to fit properly over the keycaps. It's also quite stiff, so I tried getting it over a keycap, but I think it will actually break, so it's pretty much unusable. I always recommend also not using these, but rather using a proper wire keycap puller, as they will not damage your keycaps as much as the plastic ones will. The box that the keyboard comes in actually gives us not the kind of information we would want to know if we were to shop for a mechanical keyboard. It doesn't state which switch is actually in the keyboard, just that it has 50 million clicks before it might fail. That it has LED backlight, the anti-ghosting, the amount of colors of backlight, but other than that there's not much info. They let us know that it's QWERTY and that it has 2 years warranty and that it has a red cord, which actually turns out to be black and red. But yeah, it's the box is also glued shut, despite there also being tape. So if you want to actually try it out in the store, you cannot really do that without tearing the box apart. The keycaps have top-centered legends, of course for the backlighting, using a lovely gamer font. And to my biggest surprise, they're, from what it appears, double shot. What they did do, however, is also print on some of the modifiers text of what they do. So down here they just have control, but here they used logos, and then seemingly as an afterthought, they printed text on them as well. Pretty thick, you can actually feel the text. But yeah, that really did strike me as a strange choice. Speaking of strange choices, they also opted for a blue clicky switch. It's a Cherry clone made by Basan. And yeah, this is marketed as a gaming keyboard, so normally you would expect something like a tactile red, black or brown switches, but in this one they went for a blue clicky switch. So how are the stabilizers, you might be asking? Well, in a nutshell, not great at all. They have a lot of play, and also the stem housing has a lot of play in the plate. I'm not sure if this is because the stem housing is too small, if the cutouts in the plate are too big, or perhaps it's a combination of both. In a future video I actually want to see if I can what I can do to make this board somewhat decent. And of course replacing the steps would be the first step towards that. If you can live with loud rattly stabilizers, there's also the issue where it seems that in some cases the stabilizer catches on something, so if you try to hit enter with your pinky, it might actually get stuck halfway. So yeah, the stabilizers really obliterate this board. The keyboard may appear to be RGB, but is actually not RGB. At least not in the way that everyone expects RGB to be. It does state on the box that it has 6 color of LED backlight, as you can see by the rows. The board comes with some pre-programmed lighting effects, which can be accessed by pressing function key and then insert. And well, we got a mode where it's off, and we got a mode where pressing the keys will light up while the others are off. Then we get this mode, of which I'm not sure what it actually does. It just goes around and then flashes, I guess, and then does that and then repeats again. And we got this one. I do like this one actually. And we got briefing mode. With the function and arrow keys we can control the brightness. We can even switch it off this way. And the left and right arrow, we can control the speed of the animations if an animation is played. On the right side of the board we also find some indicator lights, which are used for numlock, scroll lock and caps lock. And it's not described in the manual, but that last indicator light is actually for the Windows key lock function. So if you press function and then on that side the Windows button, then that last light will also light up, which, well, I'm not sure in which order it actually is, but one of the two states should then disable the Windows key, so that in games you won't be pulled out of your game if you accidentally hit the OS key. Underneath the keyboard we find 5 anti-slip feet and also flip out feet for one position. They're not rubber tipped. And as you can see, there's actually no screws on this side because they're actually on the other side. So in order to open it up, you actually have to remove the keycaps and then you can untighten the screws on that side. The cable itself is braided, it's non-detachable and also has a ferrite bead, of which I'm not sure if that's actually necessary for a keyboard. The keyboard itself weighs close to a kilo at 987 grams, which is 2 pounds and 2.8 ounces, which for what it is actually surprises me. The weight is probably thanks to its steel plate, as it's also really hard to flex the board. It's quite rigid. Considering the price, I'd say it's actually, in build quality terms, pretty good. That brings us to the last part then of this review. How does it actually type? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. And that concludes my review of the Battletron mechanical gaming keyboard sold by Action. What do I think about it? Well, it's really cheap. Like, as I said earlier, I don't think there are many keyboards that actually go this low in price already on Chinese web shops, and this one is actually sold in the EU. Mostly stuff does get more expensive by the time it's sold here, but this one stays at a price that really surprised me. And what also surprised me was the build quality of this keyboard and the fact that the keycaps are double shots. So I don't think it's actually terrible for for the price they're asking. It's just really loud, and yeah, the stabilizers are terrible. But other than that, it surprised me actually. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. I would like to thank you for watching and to consider letting me know down below what you think about this, if you have any questions, and also to like the video if you did like it, but also dislike it if you didn't. And well, it would help me immensely if you let me know what could have been done better. Also, of course, the whole thing about subscribing, the bell, yada yada yada. Well, yeah, I guess you know the drill. Anyway, thanks for watching.